Anyway, with your little
Will
tap
he
down
expose you?
finished, you guys shortly return to the tent to recover your stuff. And as you do, you notice that the captain is no longer taking a nap. He's in his seat, sitting facing towards the table, and in his hands, he's playing with the banner that you got from the mansion.
Motherfucker, I thought she asked you to go, huh, so much for no inspection, huh?
He doesn't answer you, he just keeps staring at the banner. It's been over 20 years, but I still remember this banner, floating proudly right next to the king. I'd stake my life that this is the real thing. I'll never forget it. He pauses for a second as he continues staring at it before putting it on the table and putting his hand on his blade and slowly drawing it from its scabbard. That means one of two things. Either you people are grave robbers, or you have a lot of explaining to do.
Knew we couldn't trust you.
I just hold out a hand. I'd like that back now.
Answer the question. Where did you get this?
We got it from a close friend. Somebody who used to own it.
Keep talking.
What was her name again? I would remember.
Morgana.
No, not
depending
Morgana.
on who you wanna address, do you wanna say the general's name or the
general.
demon's name?
General.
Cynthia Hamlet.
That's it. We got it from a close friend of Cynthia Hamlet's.
What about Cynthia?
She's been gone for a while.
How did she die?
Did she even tell us? I don't think so. Just age.
Yeah, Morgana told you that after the war, Cynthia, having lost her purpose, she just got sick and eventually died.
I'm gonna tell him straight up. Like, she slipped away.
And who is the one that gave you this banner?
As I said, someone close to her.
You're not lying, right? Everything's legit?
Yeah.
So even if I roll, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Here we go. The guy thinks about what you're saying for a moment and then puts the sword back in his scabbard. He then sits back down in his seat. Lost in photos, he continues looking at the banner. He stays quiet for a while. Oh, I guess this makes a lot of sense now.
What do you mean?
As you've probably noticed, we're not exactly the Kingdom of Fedovan's favorite bunch of soldiers. We're the ones that get sent out there when they're suicide missions.
I think it's gonna click by this point. It's like, you used to be loyal to the other king, didn't you? Still are, either way.
I was Cynthia's second in command.
Oh.
So how much do you know about the late general then?
I know that I've never met a greater leader than her. I mean, the warrior king was no small fry himself, but my loyalties are to Cynthia alone, not to the king. I am her soldier after all.
And did you know her attendant as well?
Who?
Never mind.
So, what about this thing then?
Thing?
Yeah, she points like basically the situation that we're currently in. Like, you're holding that. You seemed upset.
He takes the banner and tosses it over to the other end of the table so you guys can take it. You should be careful who sees this.
Yeah.
She has more friends than she has more enemies than friends.
I'm gonna.
Here, a lot of the soldiers under me used to serve under her. So, that makes you friends of ours. If this banner was entrusted to you, then, like I said, that makes us friends. However, you should be careful who else sees this. Honestly, I'm shocked that you're keeping it on you. This seems like a ticking time bomb ready to go off.
Basically, as Vendrik picks it up, I'm gonna go. I want to hide it inside the talisman box, since I don't think keeping it in our backpacks is gonna draw too much attention.
Right. Well, this changes things a little bit. Have a seat at the table. I need to tell you more about our current situation.
Lovely. But yeah, sit down at the thing.
I'm gonna assume that this is probably one of the reasons the prince brought you here. One, because you have this banner, and two, because of I've seen your abilities already. It seems that he is banking on you being exactly what we need to push the lines back and retake the fortress. Now, let me get down to the point then. He unfolds the map on the table and shows you a few strategic locations around you. This is our target. It's called Dunstead Fortress. We need to take it. Sadly, we don't have much time and the conditions are poor. But if we do not retake it within a week, they're going to get reinforcements. We need to take the fortress back before that happens.
So, what was your plan then?
From what our scouts and spies have managed to gather, we're looking at about 500 troops. So if we're gonna siege the fortress successfully, we'll need at least 3 times that. Our reinforcements will arrive in 2 days' time. With them, we'd have roughly a bit over their number. We don't even have twice as many, so the siege would be pretty much impossible. We were supposed to be backed up by the Fighting Six, but as you know, they're all dead. Which means that we can't rely on any help from them, obviously. And since we're gonna have to worry about their flank as well, hopefully the others will at least send a bit of reinforcements, but they'll be used to plug up the holes the Fighting Six left behind. Meaning that for this fortress siege, it's all gonna be on us.
So, we can't have the siege drawn out, I suspect?
No. If we wait for a week, they'll get reinforcements. The siege will fail for sure. We need to take the fortress before that.
I see.
Unfortunately, that's not where our problems end. The reason they pushed the battle lines further in during the last 2 months is because they have some new artillery siege weapons. Something we've never seen before. That is the reason they managed to drive us back this much and take the fortress with relatively no resistance. And from what we've gathered, some of those state-of-the-line siege weapons are now inside the fortress. If we try to siege it without taking proper preparations, we will get destroyed out there. We're gonna need some sabotage and some, shall we say, eyes in the right places around that fortress. There's still many things we don't know. Unfortunately, my division doesn't deal with, shall we say, technical stuff like that. So we're lacking when it comes to competent scouts and saboteurs.
So, what exactly is it that you want? Do you want those weapons battlefield? Do you want their lines of supplies sabotaged? Do you want one of those weapons stolen for analysis?
Want a hole blown in the wall?
Well, considering where the fortress is situated, any edge we can get is welcome. If the walls can be sabotaged, if the weapons can be sabotaged, if we can get some information or maybe assassinate one of the high-ranking officers in there, any little bit is gonna help. Sadly, I don't have any men that can do that. Unless you have some particular skills you're willing to share.
So let me get this straight. You have no scouts that have been able to get near or even behind the enemy lines.
Any scout I've sent has not returned.
Well,
So you need somebody to get inside the castle, sabotage not only the siege weapons, but also probably the gate and so forth.
That's probably a tall order. Like I said though, any little bit is gonna help. At the odds we're currently facing, it's impossible to make the siege happen. However, I have no choice. We will attack it within the week, no matter what.
Do you have a catapult?
Catapult? I suppose we can build one, but why?
Alyssia face palms in the back of the tent.
You can see her smiling.
God, you're not going to do a fucking orc tactic.
Putting that aside, just for clarity's sake, if this new siege weapon was to be taken out of the equation, would you be able to push back the line?
Absolutely not, they have many. But I don't care about them, I care only for those stationed in the fortress. Since that's our mission.
No, but that's my point. If they were to be rendered, if the ones in the fortress were to be somehow rendered useless against you, would that be enough?
Sadly no, that would only mean that we'll have a lot less casualties going in. Like I said, for a successful siege, you want a 3-to-1 ratio. We don't even have 2-on-1.
So ideally, we would need to kill everyone inside the fortress.
You feel
Or just
confident
cripple
about
them.
killing over 400 soldiers by yourself?
Well...
Not in direct confrontation, no. But perhaps there are other ways.
Does anybody here know how
Honestly,
to operate a
let's
siege
talk
machine?
best case scenarios. If you manage to infiltrate the place, render their weapons useless, find a way to sabotage their walls or gate so we can maybe sneak in there, we might have equal footing if we're on the other side of the gate. We can match their numbers if nothing else.
So what we need is to not only get you close enough to the gate to get you in when it's open, but also make sure that none of the siege weapons hit you on the way.
No worries, what we need is a fucking miracle.
What we also need is a way to communicate so that your forces actually know what we find out while we find it out, rather than having the information relayed post-haste, which would mean that any information is delayed and thus not fully up to date.
I believe you have mages among you, don't you? Isn't that what they're good for?
What do you mean?
Don't you have some kind of magic that may help us understand each other? Relay information?
Oh! She looks around for a moment. She looks towards Vira. Do we?
If I have line of sight.
Alternatively, we do have some alchemy related basic tools to make smoke. That might help if we have specific signals.
That sounds good.
That only works for a pre-planned scenario, however. If we encountered something that requires a modification of a plan, that would not really be an option.
Yeah, well, we have to deal with what we got, unfortunately.
That's true.
Forever life up here.
Well, before that then, I need to know information. Plans of the castle. Any information on any siege engines?
On the siege engines, not much. However, the castle, I can get you the blueprints of that easily, since that castle used to be under our control not long ago.
Perfect. If we can get that, something else. Vendrik.
Wouldn't happen to have information about the forces occupying the castle themselves?
Well, our intel is rather limited, but from what we know, they seem to be goblin and orc types. The kind of mukes you'd find anywhere on the battlefield, really. They don't seem to have anything special about them. apart from the siege weapons.
Purely goblins and orcs.
That's from what we've seen, at least.
Actually, out of character, do I know anything about goblins or orcs?
They're basic mukes. Basically, they're used on the front lines. Not particularly smart, perfect soldiers. Perfect meat shields.
So basically cannon fodder.
Yep.
Yeah, so they would presumably have some sort of leader because they're not intelligent enough by themselves, right?
Yeah, usually the ones in charge of the goblins are the orcs because they're stronger and a bit more intelligent, and then on top of them probably stand elder orcs or other species. The elder orcs are actually very wise, but that's very rare for their species because they usually die young because of blood rage and their fiery nature. Those that actually survive past 50 or 60 years become incredibly intelligent in contrast and become very deadly.
So if we were to remove the leaders, then they would essentially turn into a bunch of mindless rabble.
Yes.
Dangerous.
However, that they are still gonna be quite dangerous.
Yeah, of course, but at least we would at that point have deprived them of, well, hopefully any sort of advanced tactics.
They still have the defender's advantage, however, so...
Yeah.
Yes. Vendrik.
Yeah?
I see before about that cloud you made. Do you remember when we first met? You took out those knights?
Yeah.
I was wondering, is there a way to change that spell? Maybe fog or something?
What, something non-lethal?
Yeah, you know, something more concealing instead of deadly.
That's a much easier spell.
Why would we need it to be less deadly? Better to simply apply it at the hordes of demons inside the castle to thin them out?
Well, that's one way, of course, but we need to somehow cover the approach of at least some of the army. So I was thinking if you could cover the approach, and they're that dumb that you mentioned, they won't think twice about it before they're on you.
Wouldn't it be easier for me to just impersonate one of the elder orcs and order them to open the gate?
What, on humans? I don't think they're that dumb.
I put my hands up to my face, gesture them down, and cast the name. Thyself, mystical cross-dressing.
Why, that is
And
impressive.
now standing in front of you is an approximation of an old orc.
Well, it is impressive. Again, I don't think they're that stupid.
I can attest to that. That's
I
not
respond
going to work.
back to you in demonic, going, "Are you sure it won't work?"
Still pretty
Alyssia
sure it
speaks-
won't.
Wait.
We can't understand that. Well,
That's
Geo
my point.
can. Geo, what did he say?
Alyssia actually replies in demonic. Are you sure that is what I speak? And then continues in goblin. Wouldn't this be more appropriate?
Not
By the
for
way,
the higher ranking
it
ones.
was just stroking
Only
her hair.
the
It's like,
peons.
Wait, does Vendrik speak goblin?
Do you really? How many books did I just put on that table?
I don't fucking know.
Questioning my language choices.
That doesn't necessarily mean you speak goblin.
But again,
What languages
in any
does
case,
Vira
I'll
speak?
leave the details for this to you. I trust that you'll come up with what you think is best. I'll get the blueprints for the fortress ready while I'm doing a few other works. Keep in mind, the reinforcements will be here in 2 days, and in another 2 days we will be ready to march, leaving us with 3 days to decide how we're gonna siege the fortress and how we're gonna take it in time for the reinforcements to be intercepted. Now, if you don't mind, I would ask you to leave my tent since there's other matters I need to attend to.
of course, like she's gonna stand up and motion for the others to follow, and she's gonna wave at Vendrik, like, get rid of that before we head out.
Oh, and before you leave, one last matter. Concerning the paladin with the broken jaw that woke up earlier.
What do you mean? Someone paladin napping in our tent? Never knew.
Right. Well, I'm in charge here, and that doesn't exactly leave, you know, a good impression to the rest of the Paladin orders. So I'm gonna need to punish you.
I mean, his face had a really good impression, but I guess I should have hit him harder.
This is actually
Your
chuckling.
punishment is that he is staying here until he is completely healed, and you are in charge of making him feel comfortable.
You're kidding. We have a siege to plan.
I'll see to it.
Would it
And
just be
please,
easier if we didn't have to
Don't
worry about him?
inflict any other wounds on him.
Done.
Fine.
It
Vira
depends
has
what
already.
he says. I make no promises.
No, Vira's already basically said that she's gonna handle it. Basically, just stay away from him. Let Vira handle it. Vira's the most likely to not kill him in this group. Is that? I mean, like, there's no argument there. She's most likely not to punch him.
Just quick question out of character. Why the fuck would Alyssia kill him?
No, I said punch him.
Oh.
Well, I did say kill him, but I can, whatever. It's fine, whatever. Anyway,
Let
just
me know if
stay
you
away
need
from the paladin.
If you want, I
I'll
can make
handle
him
it.
very comfortable.
No.
Are you
I
gonna
don't-
make awkward noises again?
No. Like, you don't use
Yeah,
the same trick twice. That's
She's
far too
she's gonna
cliche.
leave now.
Anyway,
This
as
is
you
out
guys
10.
return to your tent, you'll notice two things. Logan is there, and he is going through some documents. And next to him, lying down, is the paladin who apparently pissed him off, so Logan has knocked him out.
Wow, okay, thank God. God damn it. This is...
I like this guy
Vera's
more.
just gonna frown at Logan and say, we weren't supposed
As
to
soon
do
as
that.
you guys walk in, Logan looks up towards you, Vira, who seemed to be in a bad mood, and he's like, "What?"
No, I'm not in a bad mood. I just look at him like very like I'm just concerned because I'm just like, God damn it, I was supposed to prevent this from happening.
Logan looks very confused when you say that.
You see, Theron punched him earlier, so now we have to get punished. The punishment is basically he's staying here with us until he's recovered, and we need to. He gestures to the unconscious guy, not do that particular thing.
He looked tired, so I decided he should take a nap.
Hey, why don't you heal him with magic?
I don't use magic.
No, I don't mean you. She's like looking towards like Vira and Vendrik. It's like heal with
I
magic.
don't think
and
I
he's gonna
have
speak
any. I don't have any healing spells.
Wonderful. I don't think
Don't,
But-
don't worry too much about it. I hit him hard enough that he's probably not gonna remember getting hit.
I'll take care of him from now on.
Suit yourself.
Lovely.
Just make sure to
Wouldn't it
keep
be
him away
easier-
from me and my stuff, or I'm gonna hit him again.
I'll make sure to do that. The more cooperative we are with letting him heal up, the quicker he's going to be out of our hair.
Suddenly you hear some moaning as the guy begins to shift back and forth. He immediately clutches his head because presumably he has a massive headache.
I'd
And
imagine.
because of that, he immediately keels over and starts puking. And just as he's done puking, he starts raising his hand, still a little groggy. And as that's
What
going on,
puke?
you see Logan use his staff to bonk him on the head again, and the guy collapses back in bed.
Logan.
Wait, you called yours kobold noises?
Yeah. But yeah, what puke? There's no puke.
Actually, Adam, she called it kobold noises, but
Yeah, shut up, Paul. You want me to?
Yeah, you fucking
Vira,
nerd, Paul.
Logan pipes up. Vira, your pet just vomited on the floor. Take better care of it.
Also, Expertia, I was also going to use prestidigitation, but to make his vomit taste like shit.
Okay, everybody stop focusing on the paladin, okay? Come
But
on.
yeah, I'm basically just really quick, a little bit more with the paladin. Just use prestidigitation, vomit's all cleaned up, and I'm just gonna kind of try my best to just kind of drag him to a corner, like into a bed on like a corner bed where he's like out of the way.
I'm staying on the opposite side of the tent from him. But yeah.
Okay, I require assistance.
Might I ask, isn't it easier to just get rid of him? We'll be gone from this place in a week or so at most. Honestly,
Yeah.
why don't we just bury him outside the camp?
Because
I said I would take care of him, so I'm going to do that.
Very well, if that's what you want to do.
Right. Anyway, we have something to tell you, Logan. When you say you're gonna meet somebody, meet somebody.
Oh, that. I thought you were gonna take the hint.
Don't hint at something, just plain tell us that you were gonna meet someone.
You were riding to the front lines to enter a fight, and you want me to randomly say, hey, on your way back, why don't you swing by the woods to meet a dragon?
You could have just said go to the woods to meet somebody. At least that would have been better.
That wouldn't have been as effective to get through the barrier, though.
Oh, yeah, right, that. Explain that to us. Anyway, apparently we're stuck doing what you were meant to be doing.
The only deal I made with that dragon is that I'll find somebody that's gonna do his little errand for him. I never promised I'll do it myself. So
Well,
what, you actually agreed to do that? That seems pointless.
well, we got something really cool out of it.
Yeah, you got something that might get you killed?
To be fair, we have quite a bit of that with us already.
Yeah, well, when you have dragons coming after you, that's a different story.
He needed help, whatever. Anyway. Apparently we're stuck planning an entire siege now. As an update.
He saw the banner, didn't he?
He's... We couldn't take it with us, it had to go on the table. And we kept
You
it in the
guys are
box.
so gullible, I swear.
We put it in the box. That reminds me, Vendrik, put it in my box.
Sorry, could I just give it a second to out of character safe phrasing?
Right,
Vendrik,
so
shut
I'm
up and
assuming
stuff
he
it in the
wants to
box.
do some sabotage. Luckily, that's what I was gonna tell you to do anyway.
Okay, so you're gonna help us plan, right?
Of course not.
Then would you mind fucking off?
This is my tent.
There was no hints at all.
Logan just shrugs. I don't know. Good luck with that.
Wonderful. Okay. Here's gonna be the thing then. Is there a table in the tent, by the way?
No, but I'm pretty sure you can make a makeshift table from some stuff lying around.
I'm just gonna go. Oh, hang on.
Vendrik,
Hang on a second. So she's gonna swap Vira a moment. It's like, Virian, help Vira move a paladin, and then she's gonna go outside and grab a
Fine.
box for a table.
Paladin is on the bed. It took like 5 solid minutes of just dragging his ass.
As we're all
but
arguing, I can
I
imagine
made it.
Vira dragging him in the background, like.
Some dirt got into his armor, by the way. It's probably gonna chafe.
Yeah.
Fine,
Also, those-
fuck it, I'll
those
take off
sheets
his
are
armor.
just
Wait,
so
does he
itchy.
wear clothes under his armor?
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
You don't
gonna
wanna-
carefully take off his armor.
I'm just calling it
He
now.
seems to be from a rather well-off family, because you see that he has quite
don't
a
care.
well-made shirt on him
Okay.
underneath the armor. It actually has an embroidered cute little bunny giving you a wink.
Aww.
Right. So the next day is gonna roll around. Are you guys gonna try to approach the fortress? Maybe see if you wanna put the plan in motion today, or get some sabotage ready?
Well, are we gonna? Are we? You know, I guess we are resting, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a you've slept the night, so you guys are properly rested.
It might be a good idea to do some recon.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
assume that you
that's-
guys are gonna ride
that's-
out towards the fortress then?
Yeah, I guess I'm down for that. Not a bad
I mean,
idea.
even if no one else goes, Vira or Alyssia is will probably go and have a look at it at least.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we should.
I mean, the picture is not technically accurate, but that's because I couldn't find a better one. Now, imagine there's no siege weapons and no army on this side. There's literally a wooden bridge connecting to a small piece of island that's in the middle of the lake, and the fortress is there. So it's very well defended. There's only one way to reach it, and that's through the bridge.
Hey! What? Twice?
He's got the next.